back, JDC family. My name is Jay. This is my Diecast Creations channel, and today we have a special build that we did for our good friend Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs, all the way in Switzerland. As I record this video, this box is somewhere between Queens, New York, and Germany. We're not really sure. We're waiting on updates, but basically what I did was I took a Fast 111 sporty shifter, which is based off an old school Porsche rally car. Not exactly sure what the casting is supposed to be, but I know it's based off a Porsche, and Andrew is a Porsche fanatic. I found this in a thrift store bag at one point in time. It was the only one I had. I wanted to make him something unique that he probably doesn't have. And this car was very heavily play worn. You could tell that it was loved by a child at one point in time. It was embedded with dirt through and through. The windshield was very scratched up. I did my best to clean it up. It's still not perfect, but you know, that's all part of making custom creations, right? So we take it apart. I stripped the paint off, and the casting was very well pitted. It had some very heavy casting lines on it. So I took a file to the front end and I tried to take off as many casting lines as I could without diminishing the detail on the car. It has these very pronounced fender flares, which I thought was really cool. One thing that I did want to do was upgrade the wheels on this Porsche, and we got those out of a Johnny Lightning kit, and they actually fit perfectly for the sizing of the vehicle. So I took a Dremel with a wire wheel on it, and I cleaned up all the extra zinc that was deposited on this car from over time, weathering on the vehicle, playing in the dirt, whatever. They get really beat up, and the metal doesn't hold up so well, you know. So we clean it up as good as we can. Filed down that front end because the casting lines were just so bad on this thing that I had to go to work. I really did. I saw that the rear had that grill back there, so I wanted to make some detail on there, and I saw that there was a spot underneath the wing there that would be perfect to replicate what Andrew did on the car he sent me, where, you know, you put your logo in the back. So as you're leading the pack, anybody behind you can see just who it is, and you know, you won't be able to catch them. So what we did was we took Rust-Oleum 2 times flat white primer, and we laid down 4 coats of that. These are those Johnny Lightning wheels. They just happen to line up perfectly, and the spacing was right, the sizing was right, and you know, I put down like 3 or 4 coats of this white primer, and it just made the car, it transformed the whole look of this thing, you know. It's very hard to get these things perfect right now where I'm spraying outside in New York. The weather just isn't good, you know. So I had ordered some Canadian decals. I wanted to pay tribute to where Andrew is from. And I also had some extra Jay's Diecast Creations water slides that I got from Chuck over at Flying Valiant. And the checkered flag actually came from a Games Workshop kit that I had picked up for like 50 cents, I think. It was a sheet of water slides. The 112 was from a World War I tank kit that I picked up the water slides at a gaming shop. It doesn't have any significance as far as what the number is. I just threw it on there because you know, it looked cool. So then I went in with lead belcher, and I detailed out all these little vents. We did the vents in front of the driver's door, in the front there on the outside of the hood, and also in the rear below the wing there's a vent there, and on the back of the car there's also another vent. So I just did my best to cleanly do those, and there you can see the JDC underneath the wing there. If you get close enough to that bumper, you'll know that he's gonna put the hammer down, and there ain't no looking back. as Andrew very much quotes the his favorite Porsche, the Outlaw, Urban Outlaw. He rips the mirror off because you don't need it. I did my best to try to drill out the dashboard and insert a steering wheel. It did end up lower than I wanted it to be, but I didn't want to mutilate this thing, so I ended up leaving it there. It's not perfect. The steering wheel is oversized as well, so it doesn't really look great, but you know, I did my best to detail this thing out as good as I could, and these are all the parts that we end up putting back together. This is the car that we started off with. It's the Fast 111's sporty shifter, and the wheels didn't even roll, and this thing had been through the ringer with some kids. They probably left it in a few mud puddles over time, and it got buried in the backyard. But somehow it made its way into my possession through the thrift store. It was donated at some point, and now it's on its way to Switzerland. And by the time you guys are seeing this, Andrew has already opened up his package. So that's that. Moving on, Amanda told me, hold on, don't send this package yet. I got something in store. So she asked me, what Porsches do you have? I'm gonna make Andrew something. So I had this Porsche 935. It is the Urban Outlaw Magnus Walker. We stripped it down, and I did do some work on this. I drilled it out for her. I threw it in the stripper. I ended up laying down a base coat, and she took it from there. And I think I might have sprayed the clear coat as well, just so that she didn't have to inhale the fumes. But she did all the detailing on this car. She did all the planning as far as what colors that it was going to be, what decals were going to go on it. And she took full creative freedom on this build, and I'm proud of her for doing that. This thing came out super awesome. It probably came out better than my car. We'll let Andrew be the judge of that. Being the nice guy that he is, I don't know that he's gonna honestly pick a favorite. But that's okay, as long as both of them end up in Switzerland in one piece and in his possession. I know that they'll be treasured forever. So this is basically what you do. You drill out the posts until the head comes off, and then you take that little pick there and you pry it apart. You know, you make sure that there's nothing holding it together. You pry it apart, look at all the little pieces. This thing had lensed headlamps, which is cool, and a pretty detailed interior that Amanda took advantage of, which you'll see coming up. She decided she wanted to keep the wheels on it, but put her own spin on this vehicle. So now we have the car taken apart. You can see that it's a 4-piece casting, and I threw it in the stripper, and it's just a, you know, like I said before, the zinc plating on these things gets a little rough. It just looks a little rough, so I did clean it up for her. I threw the Dremel back at it, you know, with the wire wheel, cleaned it up nice, rubbed it down with some mineral spirits to clean the casting, make sure there's no metal shavings that she's gonna get her hands on. And then you'll see here, I just snapped a picture while she was doing her detailing. While the paint was drying on the casting, I gave her the wheels, and she decided to put her spin on the wheels. And the detailing that she does, it's quite honestly better than mine. Very impressive, very impressive. For somebody that's not submerged in this hobby to step in and make a car like this, it steps the bar up for all of us, I think. You know. And now you can see the final product after she's done detailing everything out. This is the part. These are the parts of the car that are gonna go back together. And she made it a point to paint that side skirt there red, because it actually shows through on the vent. And she did everything that she wanted to do. This was very planned out and very well planned out, I should say. And exceptionally executed. Look at the detailing on the interior here, guys. Like, she did things that I wouldn't even attempt. I think, you know, those blue bars on the right side, pipes, whatever you want to call them. I don't think I would even attempt to do that, because, you know, one little slip and it's all over, you know. Then she left her mark on the bottom of this car, just for jokes and to let Andrew know it was made with love. It is branded with a Ferrari logo underneath, and I think that he'll get a really nice kick out of that. This is the car that Amanda started with. It's the Porsche 935, and it is in Andrew's favorite livery, the Urban Outlaw Magnus Walker 277. And Amanda transformed this thing into this black and white with red accents to tribute Canada, where Andrew is from. And she put her spin on this car, and I am very highly impressed. I think this thing turned out amazing. I hope that Andrew loves both of these cars. I'm sure that he's going to. I just hope that they made it there in one piece, and I'm sure they'll sit on his desk or wherever he decides to display these things, and be cherished forever, you know. This is a special community that we have, the amount of sharing and generosity that goes around, and you know, this is just something that we wanted to do for Andrew. He asked me to find a Cadillac casting, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. And in the process, if I'm shipping a package to Switzerland, you're gonna get some fire, you know. We're gonna put everything that we can into this and make it worth it, you know. It's not every day you get to ship something across the world. So there you guys go. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope Andrew loves the cars and everything else that came in the package. And leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.